Episode 10, How to Reduce EMF Exposure. Hey everybody, welcome back to Dr. Ashley, your go-to channel for everyday holistic health tips for the times we live in, also known as Ecomedicine. Consider hitting the subscribe button to stay updated on the latest health tips. What's that in your pocket? I hope it isn't your cell phone. Need I say more? Well, yes. Have you ever wondered if there were reasons not to be working with your computer on your lap or walking around all day with a cell phone in your pocket? It seems like it does cross many of our minds. But then the thought that this might not be good for us is brushed under a rug. For many of us, it's just too easy to ignore and then to do something about it because we are so dependent on technology. But by the end of this video, you will understand just how important it is to reduce exposure to the electromagnetic fields coming from our devices like phones and computers. It can be overwhelming to avoid all EMF signals around us, but even just using the small steps discussed here will make a big difference. What are EMF fields? EMF stands for electromagnetic field. Although invisible to the naked eye, EMF fields are created when an electric current and a magnetic current run perpendicular to each other, creating invisible waveforms. EMFs occur in nature, including the EMF created by the sun and by the earth itself. There are many types, but we are talking about the non-ionizing EMF fields that you are exposed to when you use your electronics. Non-ionizing EMF fields are very low power signal that are emitted by cell phones, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi routers, baby monitors, smart meters, and other devices. Cell phone is probably the biggest source of EMF exposure for individuals. Some studies suggest this form of energy can change DNA over time, causing something called a mutation. How this will show itself on a health level really remains to be seen, although not all the evidence is out there yet on the intensity and time required to have negative effects from exposure. There is enough concerning evidence to suggest that it isn't worth the risk of keeping devices next to our bodies. There are concerns that exposure to microwave may be linked to heart issues, mood issues, ADD, neurological disorders, and other disorders. My goal isn't to scare anyone, but to bring awareness. Even small steps like putting your phone in a bag off your body and putting it in an EMF protecting case is a step in the right direction. Anecdotally, people tell me their insomnia often improves, at least a little bit, when they get the cell phone out of the bedroom or at least put it in airplane mode so it isn't signaling 1 foot by their head all night long. Here are my suggestions in order of action. Number 1, get the phone off your body. Seriously, even a purse or bag is a better way to carry it, but be aware fields do not majorly diminish until the phone is a few feet away. Please use the speaker on the phone or a non-Bluetooth earpiece. Be aware the fields fully extend for quite a distance. Dr. Mercola, who is very passionate about EMF protection, believes this distance is 25 feet. If you have a way to do this, you can install a landline, but a lot of people can't, so there's only so much we can do. Number 2, remember, airplane mode is your friend. Anytime you aren't using your phone, put it in airplane mode. And if you need to get phone calls and text, but you don't want as much EMF, you can turn cellular data off for a while. Just make a mental note that you won't get email or app function with cellular data off. Number 3, get the phone out of your bedroom. Put it in airplane mode or just turn it off at night entirely. Seems simple, but many people don't do it. Number 4, keep your computer off your lap. You can tell me the truth. Have you ever watched a full movie with the computer right over your pelvic region? Okay, let's try to avoid that one. Number 5, keep routers, Wi-Fi, and computers out of your bedroom and as far away from your bedroom as feasibly possible. Sleep is when our bodies heal themselves, so we don't need any dirty EMF fields around us when this is happening. Number 6, start turning off your Wi-Fi, and if it isn't too complicated, your router at night and when you aren't using it. If you can do old-fashioned Ethernet rather than Wi-Fi, that will cut down on EMF significantly in your house. Number 7, make sure all outlets are properly grounded. Number 8, consider other EMF protectors depending on your situation, as I will discuss below. And number 9, smart meters. These are high in EMF. If they are close to your main living, sleeping spaces, you can sometimes pay the electric company to have them removed and placed with regular meters, but it is for a fee. Number 10, in this last step, we get a little crazier and talk about other more extreme, intense ways of blocking EMF. It's not for everyone. I am really just mentioning this because it's super interesting, but if you feel overwhelmed or insane and in any way just can't handle this, skip it for now and focus on what you can easily do. Okay, here it is. Mylar space blankets. They're $2 online, and I know it sounds crazy, and maybe it is a little bit, but you can put them under your rug, you can put them along a wall. If the apartment next to you is blasting EMF, you can tape one up. It's a little crazy, but it's cheap. The fanciest but most expensive way to block EMF is using a silver or copper fabric that works like a sheet or canopy to fully block fields. Now, this can get expensive. I mean, we're talking over $1,000 to cover your bed, but it works. How do I know that space blankets work? Well, I was tipped off that they do, and then I used my fancy German EMF detector to see, and it definitely blocks at least part of the fields. Okay, perhaps I know a little too much, but oh, and P.S. for those with babies out there, please do not use monitors. They are Wi-Fi linked. Fortunately, my baby's room is right across from mine, so I just use my sensitive ears to hear her, but there are hardwired monitors if you have a baby room that's pretty far from your room. I used my EMF detector from Germany on a baby monitor that was a gift, and I was so scared by how high the readings were that I just never put it in my baby's room. If you have, really don't worry, it's just something to make changes in. If you feel that you have been exposed to too much EMF and need a detox from it, here are a couple simple suggestions. Number 1, if you live on a coast, walking barefoot on wet sand can help the charge that builds up on our bodies. Number 2, go away, even for a week, into the countryside where there's almost no signal. By the way, tune in and see if your sleep gets better when you do this. I've had many people tell me they do sleep better. Number 3, rosemary extract. It's high in antioxidants that make it very helpful for any what we call oxidative stress on the body, especially from things like cell phones. Crazy, but there are so many studies to suggest that this is a possibility. You can purchase a liquid form of this at your grocery store if you are particularly bombarded by EMF fields at work or home. And number 4, Dr. Mercola recommends making sure your magnesium levels are normal, and if not, taking steps to get them to normal levels. Number 5, there's also recommendations that certain foods that are really high in antioxidants and sulfur compounds can support detox pathways that help protect you from EMF fields as well. Many of these nutrients I discussed in my gentle long-term detox episode. They're called NRF2 foods. They include omega-3s, garlic, onions, veggies like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, and tomatoes. And really, just start with some awareness around your cell phone to get those EMFs down. What other tips will you choose to reduce your exposure? This is Dr. Ashley. Thank you for joining me for another episode. I hope these tips have been informative and you feel more determined about keeping your cell phone away from your body. And don't forget to subscribe for future updates on how you can live a healthier life.